Our test for echo. I was rewatching the interview you did with your mom, and am wondering if your family knew when you were sent to the RPF, and what did they think about your situation? Given how it seems like your mom had quietly left the church and the conditions of the RPF, it makes me wonder if they knew you had been sent there, and if they did, were they upset and worried about both your physical and mental safety while you were there? Yes, I did have to contact both my mom and dad as part of the process of starting the RPF in order to let them know that I was not going to be in touch with them a whole lot while I was doing the program. I think I might have told them that it was going to be, like a year or something. I wasn't really sure how long I was going to be there when I first started. The idea is it's supposed to be a 6-month program, but that's just total horseshit. Nobody completes that program in 6 months. Nobody even completes it in a year. And I think I know one person or one pair of people who, managed to complete it, I think, in 2.5 years. And that was the shortest I'd ever seen anybody on that program where they actually did the program. There were people who came and left faster than that, either through leaving the Sea Org or through getting... what's the word for that? Reprieved. Yeah, if they got a reprieve, then they got, they were back in the Sea Org and they were okay. So, or canceled. Sometimes a person's RPF assignment would be canceled, where it just doesn't, it's as though it never happened. It was an injustice. It shouldn't have occurred. Very rare, but I did see it happen, I think actually once in terms of rare. I think I saw one RPF cancellation. And I saw I think I saw 2 people get reprieved while I was there, which basically means they review it and they go, we probably shouldn't have put you there. Okay, but besides all that, my own personal situation was that, my parents were worried, but I'd already been in the Sea Org for years. In fact, I think over about a decade at that point. And there wasn't really, much of a conversation about it. And I don't know that they really understood what it was I was doing. I mean, I told them, the shore story, the PR line about the RPF is it's a rehabilitation program, and it's something I'll be doing, with full dedication and full effort on that. And it's against the rules for me to be making phone calls or writing letters to people outside the RPF. If you want to write to me, of course you can, and I can then respond to you. I think I told them that because that was part of the rules. But I basically was calling them to let them know that we were going to be out of touch for a while. That was really the point of the call. Because up until that point, I had been in fairly, I don't want to say fairly regular because that's not true. Probably every couple months, I would call my mom. And much more infrequently, I would contact my dad. But after, once you're on the RPF, all of that is over. So that's kind of how that went. And, when I told them after the fact, in that interview with my mom, for example, and other places, they were much more disturbed after they learned all the details of it. And details I could never share with them or tell them about when I was doing it or when I was going to go to it when I was a Sea Org member. You just don't talk about that stuff, period. You do not want to give, the basic rule as a Sea Org member is you do not want to give anybody outside the Sea Org any reason to be concerned about you, to be upset about your situation or your physical or mental state or your living conditions or, the food, the money, the clothes, none of it. You're not supposed to talk about any of that stuff. And you really clamp it down, and they are very serious about that. And they don't want Sea Org members eliciting sympathy or support from outside the Sea Org, because that is what they call an external influence. And that external influence, external to the Sea Org, in other words, is going to pull you out of the Sea Org, is going to distract you, is going to make you think about things outside the Sea Org, and you don't want any of that. And this is pretty overt self-policing. It really is. And it's amazing to me. It really is amazing to me right now as I sit here that I ever agreed with that. I mean, my headspace now is so different from when I was a Sea Org member, where I thought that that was not only, something I would agree to, but that I thought it was necessary, that I was really in a headspace where I thought, yeah, I can't tell them about this stuff because they're going to get a bad image of it and then they're going to think bad things. And I never thought any deeper than that. It was just about maintaining public image at the expense of my own sanity almost. I mean, it was that crazy. I was that dedicated to it. So like I said, a little hard for me to still think that way, but that's the headspace. And that's why I was willing to say those things to my mom and dad and tell them, look, it's okay. It's fine. I'm going to do this. I know that it's not going to be easy. I know it's not, I know it's a little upsetting for you, Mom, that I'm not going to be talking to you for a while, but I really screwed up. And it's very important that I do this program. I can't really get into the specifics of why, but I need to do this, and it's very important. So I just need your support and backing in doing it. And that's pretty much how I remember communicating to her about it. There you go.